And then you spoke about something really interesting last night about the scrub jay.
Mm-hmm.
And do you mind sharing just a little bit about that?
Sure. I've been studying the Florida scrub jay,
Yes.
which is the only species of bird entirely limited to Florida. We've been studying that bird for 50 years, literally, in a population in Central Florida in which we band all the birds with individual colors so we know them as individuals. And they live up to 16 years. So we know all of the details of their births and movements and deaths and marriages and divorces and who their uncles and aunts are across the population. So we've learned a lot about what this very rare bird needs. And one of the things that it needs, surprisingly enough, is it needs to have its habitat burned.
That was so interesting to learn.
Every 8 to 15 years.
Yes.
If that area of Central Florida does not burn, the scrub jay literally goes extinct.
So explain, because you were talking about that and you explained to the audience, but why does it need to burn? What does that do for the bird?
So what happens when the fires come through areas that have been burning for millions of years, which Florida has? It's the lightning capital of North America.
Oh, yes.
50 ground flashes of lightning per square mile per year. Where you have that kind of lightning intensity, you've always had fire. It's just lightning and fire are intimately related. All the plants and animals that would live there that cannot handle the fact that they're going to burn every now and again are long extinct. So every animal and every plant out there has adapted to the fact that it's going to burn every few years. In the case of the Florida scrub jay, what happens is the habitat looks like it's destroyed, but in fact most of the biomass of those plants is underground.
Right.
Fire comes through, it's a shave. The hair grows back, the forest grows back, this stunted elfin forest. And during this period of post-fire recovery, the predator population is much reduced. So during that period, they can raise a lot of babies. So for the first few years after a fire, the reproductive success is very high.
Oh, that makes sense.
And that allows the population to keep recruiting.
How do you
If
choose?
you stop the fires, little by little the habitat gets overgrown, the predator community gets larger and larger, more raccoons, more foxes, more snakes, more hawks, and all of a sudden they can't raise babies and the population disappears. And that idea that habitats actually require fire to stay healthy is actually true of all kinds of habitats all over the world, from prairies and grasslands to shrublands and chaparral to pine coniferous forests here in the Rocky Mountains.
So how do you choose what area you're going to burn? And
yes, we do burn on purpose. So what we're trying to do is replicate the natural cycle of fires. And so we do what's called prescribed burning. We decide in advance the area that's going to burn. We don't want to burn everything.
Right.
We burn in patches. And so we create a mosaic of different ages since fire across the habitats. And so it's from a few hundred acres to even up to 500 acres in some cases. But the consequence is this beautiful mosaic of post-fire recovery. And it's really in every bit like what's going on in the coniferous forests of the Rocky Mountains, with big patches of burns here and there.
Right.
And just like in Florida, out here in the Rockies, there are birds that are actually adapted to coming in to the immediate post-fire systems, and they thrive on these charred remnants of a forest while the forest is beginning to reseed and come back.